presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are Sports Now.
On a night where Tim Hudson notched his career victory number 200, it wasn't just a celebration of Tim and his pitching and his hitting, but also a celebration of the Braves' start this year against the Nationals. The Braves have had the Nats' number so far, winning the first 5 games between these two Eastern rivals. They beat them in numerous ways. Good starting pitching, solid relief work, long balls, and pounding away at the Nationals' pitching staff. Tonight, the Braves face the Nationals' ace, Jordan Zimmermann. He takes them out to see if he can stop Washington's slide. The Braves, though, look to stay undefeated and go 6-0 against the Nats next. It's time for Braves baseball. A chilly evening greets us for Game 3 of this big 4-game series between the Nationals and Braves. The series brought to you, of course, by our friends at the Home Depot. The Braves are red hot. They've beaten the Nationals 3-2 and 8-1. They're trying to make it 3 straight in this head-to-head series tonight here at the TED. Hi again, friends, along with Tom Glavitt and Joe Simpson. Chip Carey with you here at the ballpark, where it's been an awful lot of fun to watch for this Braves ball club. And suddenly, Joe, looks like Freddie Gonzalez is finding some good luck at the top of this batting order for the Braves.
It's been fun the last 2 nights. A lot of guys getting on base, a lot more opportunities for Justin Upton and Freddie Freeman. Started Monday night with Jordan Schaefer having a perfect night. He only had 1 hit. But you know what? He walked 3 times, stole 2 bases, and really set the table for everyone. Great night for Jordan. He's back at the top of the order tonight. Last night, it was Andrelton Simmons who sent a message leading off the ball game, hit a home run leading off the game, but also Chris Johnson chipped in with a couple of hits. He's tearing the cover off the ball, leading the league in hitting. So all 3 of those guys at the top of the order have been outstanding. Tonight, base runners will be at a premium against Jordan Zimmermann. Let's hope they stay hot.
Yeah, we all know about the Braves' ability to beat teams up with the home run ball, but we've been talking about their ability to manufacture runs. You see what these guys at the top of the lineup have done the last couple of nights. If they can continue to do that and balance this offense out a little bit more, where there's always the fear of the home run ball, but they also put fear in the other pitchers that can manufacture some runs, it's a pretty good lineup.
It's going to be a key with Jordan Zimmermann on the mound for the Nationals. He's pitching great baseball for Washington. Paul Mulholland looks to rebound after 2 rough starts in a row for the Braves as Atlanta and the Nationals meets in Game 3 of this series. April brought an awful lot of power from the Atlanta offense, a huge power surge. Tom Hart will talk about Atlanta's home run binge in the season's first month when we come back to Atlanta right after this. In part by Georgia Power, by Ram Trucks, and by AT.
Welcome back to Turner Field as the Braves look to stay perfect against their rivals in the East. The Nats tonight, Atlanta trying for its 10th consecutive win against Washington. There's no question the power in this Braves offense lies with the big bats. Both new and old alike have gone yard on a regular basis. It all starts with Justin Upton, who had one of the most productive months in the long ball department in Braves history. In fact, the most home runs in April in program history. And he went back-to-back with his brother a couple of times. Evan Gattis helped power the Braves with 38 home runs in the majors, most in all of baseball, and Atlanta tries to keep it going tonight. Let's take a look behind the numbers. 8 times the Braves have gone yard in the first inning. That leads baseball. Same with late in the game, 7th inning or later. 2 outs, doesn't matter. Score tied, even better. And down in the count, well, the Braves will meet you there too. 3rd best. Those are Dodge Ram Truck power stats as Atlanta tries to keep it going with the long ball tonight. So the stage is set for the 3rd game of the series between Atlanta and Washington, and the Braves try to win their 10th straight against the Nationals. Evan Gattis and his teammates will once again be swinging for the fences as Atlanta looks to stay perfect indeed against their friends in the East at Davey Johnson's chagrin. Chip, Joe, and Tom will have a call when we return.
By the Home Depot. A cool, breezy night for baseball here in Atlanta. What else is new? We've seen nothing but cool weather the entire first month in April, and May begins the same way. Happy May, everybody. The Braves and Nats hooking up for Game 3 of the 4-game series. Atlanta's had Washington's number all year long. In fact, they haven't lost to the Nationals yet this season. Davey Johnson's Toyota lineup looks this way. A change at the top. Denard Span leading off. Then Steve Lombardozzi in at second base. Danny Espinosa's had a real rough go of it of late. Harper, Desmond, LaRoche at first. Tyler Moore's in left. Anthony Rendon, their young phenom third base prospect, gets a start tonight with Kurt Suzuki and Jordan Zimmerman rounding things out.
They'll take on Braves left-hander Paul Maholm, 3-2 with a 3.3 on the year. See, it has 14 games in the National League East since 2012, 10-1 with a 1.69 ERA, and in his last 10 starts here at Turner Field, also pitched very well, 4-2 with a 2.54 ERA.
And for the 30-year-old left-hander, his 4 keys to pitching success tonight. He's got to do something that Tim Hudson was able to do tonight. He's got to go a little farther south. He's got to keep the ball down in the zone against these guys. And he has dominated left-handed hitters. They're just 3 for 33 against him so far on the year. That's an .091 average. And 3 of the 8 position players tonight are left-handed hitters, and that would be Span, Harper, and LaRoche. So that might work to his favor against this Nationals lineup.
So Paul's ready to go. So's Denard Span. Nice crowd gathering this evening. We'll get you the weather in a moment. As Mahalam's first pitch is called a strike. 67 degrees, the official first pitch temperature. And the wind blowing straight in from center field tonight. Umpiring crew for game 3. Mike Winters has the plate. Mark Wegner, Laz Diaz, and Tim Timmons are on the base paths. One ball, 2 strikes.
Paul made a start against these guys when he was in that great stretch in his first 3 starts. At Washington, April 14th, pitched into the 8th inning, 7 2/3 of 4-hit shutout ball.
Just missed low to Denard Span. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's a good sign there. I know, Joe, you've mentioned that you felt much like Huddy's last start, that Paul kind of suffered the same fate. He had up in the zone a little bit too much. So I think that's an adjustment you'll try to see out of him again tonight, too, is get the ball down in the zone. And that was a real close pitch right there.
A roller foul by Span, who stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joe made the point earlier in the series that Span's a guy who can play every day. He hits pretty well against left-handed pitchers. We'll see if he can do anything against Mahalam, who, as the fellows mentioned a second ago, has dominated left-handed hitters this year. Upstairs, full count.
Check out the splits. 3 for 33 lefties so far on the year. Right-handers hitting him at a pretty good rate. A lot of that damage, though, has come in his last couple of starts.
Struck him out of the inside corner. Span thought he earned ball 4.
Foxtrek says it was a strike. From up here, it looked like it was tailing in off the plate. That's why Span gave up on it.
Kiss the corner a little bit.
That's all you got to do.
Here's Lombardozzi, hitting .244 with 3 RBIs. Danny Espinosa in the midst of a 2 for 16 slide. Slowly hit toward third. Francisco's got it and makes the perfect throw. 2 up and 2 down for Mahalam. Here's the rest of the Braves lineup defensively tonight. Upton, and Jordan Schaefer getting the start in right field. Francisco at third. Evan Gattis back behind the plate for the Braves. Braves have committed 15 errors this year. That's turned into, however, only 2 unearned runs after 1 month of play. Here's Bryce Harper. Third in the league in hitting at .344. Second in homers with 9.
You don't see that very often. He rarely takes a first pitch fastball for a strike. First 2 games of this series, though, he got off speed pitches on the first pitch, so maybe he was looking for that.
That's bounced off Mahalam's glove. Simmons is there and makes the play. Woo! Paul Mahalam said that was close, and he's right. Mahalam gets the Nationals 1-2-3 in the first inning, and here comes Atlanta against Jordan Zimmerman. Here we go, bottom of the first inning. The top two hitters for the Braves have been very productive so far in this series. Tonight it's Andrelton Simmons' turn to lead off, as he did in the series opener. Andrelton Simmons and Jordan Schaefer are back-to-back. Let me correct that. Schaefer first, Simmons second. For Atlanta, then it's Justin Upton, who's bidding to be the April Player of the Month in the National League. Freeman, Gaddis, Ugla, Upton, Francisco at third base, and Mahalam hits ninth.
Facing right-hander Jordan Zimmerman, 4-1 on the year. You see his last 23 regular season starts, 13-3 with a 2.74. So he's starting to figure some things out, and that's why Joe likes him so much.
Tough customer, tough competitor. His 4 keys to success tonight. Coming up real quick. Oh, they're over there. I didn't see him over there. Let's show him again. This time I'll look at him and know which one to talk about. Strike one. He loves to pound the zone. He doesn't like to walk a lot of guys. He wants early, quick outs. He doesn't throw a lot of change-ups, but he might throw a little more than you're used to seeing. He's trying to up it by 3 or 4 a game.
He's behind Jordan Schaefer here. 2 balls and a strike. And paints the outside edge to even things up. Real oddity when you look at Zimmerman's bio in the Washington notes. He's pitched against the Braves 1 time since the 2011 All-Star break.
That's hard to believe in this day and age.
Yeah, as many times as they face one another.
It's like I said, 13-3 since there's 23 games since last June. The Braves probably aren't all that unhappy that they haven't seen much of them.
When he beat the Reds the other night, 1-0, and threw that 1 hitter, he only walked 1 batter, but it only took him 91 pitches. So he was in the zone, around the zone all night, and it wasn't just strikeouts. Even though he fanned 4, that's not a ton.
Well, a good job here by Jordan Schaefer. He'll see at least 8 pitches. Get his first look at Jordan Zimmerman. Question for you, Tommy. Man on the mound for the Nats has thrown complete games in 2 of his last 3 starts. Is there a cumulative effect working perhaps for him?
I would say yes. Yeah, I know that's the kind of thing that I think you probably don't. You throw a complete game, you probably don't see it in the next start. It's probably the second start after that, which would be this one, that I think you might start to see the effects of that. But you know, there again, a lot of that goes into that is the kind of game he had to pitch, stress, no stress, and pitch count. And he didn't throw many pitches his last start.
Schaefer rolls toward first. That's a fair ball. LaRoche to Zimmerman. A little late to the bag, but still they got Schaefer, who's called out after a head-first slide. And he will argue, so will Freddie Gonzalez.
You don't like seeing guys dive headfirst at first base, but when you're racing the pitcher, maybe a little different story here. And Jordan thought he beat the pitcher to the bag.
Yeah, I don't mind it in this case either with the pitcher, because I think for Zimmerman, he was probably hoping he could tag him before he got to the bag. And then once you go into that slide, there's no chance it becomes a foot race.
It's a good angle here. Like he got in there.
Yeah,
safe.
Worst case scenario, maybe a tie, but
Mark
that's still supposed to go to the runner too.
Wegner was moving on the play. I'm not sure he had a good look at where Jordan's hand, or when Jordan's hand hit the bag. Tough luck.
Here's Simmons, and the Braves shortstop takes a ball inside. He started the game with a bang last night, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
A home run off Gio Gonzalez. This one skied into shallow center. Desmond going out, Span coming in. It'll be the shortstop, Ian Desmond, with the grab, and that's the second out. The defense for Washington has been an early season problem. They made another error last night, giving them 24 in the first month of the season. That's turned into 14 unearned runs for the Nationals pitching staff. We'll get our first look at Anthony Rendon, who's in at third base for Chad Tracy and for Ryan Zimmerman, who's still rehabbing.
Who was a draft choice by the Braves out of high school.
What'd you say the Braves have made? 15 errors?
15.
And 2 unearned runs?
2. 1 ball, no strikes for Justin Upton. Hard hit ball, and LaRoche played that to the side and couldn't glove it cleanly. And Justin's aboard with 2 outs. That's a hit.
2 and 2 nights for Adam LaRoche on some balls that he was there for. Won a Gold Glove last year, but he's had some tough hops over there the last 2 nights. That one came up on him. He's also hit hard.
Let's see if Freddie Freeman can get something going with 2 outs. He's been awfully productive in this situation early this season, too.
This is not an RBI situation unless, of course, he hits an extra base hit. But I liked what Dale Murphy said in Braves Live about how you would expect against Zimmerman, the way he's been pitching, for scoring opportunities to be somewhat thin tonight, and you got to try to take advantage of every one when you get some guys on base.
And you've got the right guy up against the Nationals. Look at what Freddie Freeman has done on our Georgia lottery, hitting the jackpot.
He'll take that for the next 60 games, too.
Yes, he will. Ground ball toward Lombardozzi at second, and that will retire the side. Nationals got a break at first base to retire Jordan Schaefer, and we head to the second inning with no score. We head to the second inning, scoreless. Paul Mahalam had a very impressive and very efficient 1-2-3 top of the first inning. All season long, Braves baseball on Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Here's Ian Desmond slowly moving up on the lineup card for Davey Johnson in this series. Game 1 he hit 6th. Last night he hit 5th. Tonight he's the cleanup hitter. He's riding a 7-game hit streak.
Supposedly went around last night and gathered up a team meeting after all the media had left, too.
To short. Simmons gloves, grabs, guns, and got him by a step.
Got some range, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I thought he was going to have to dive to get to this ball, and he didn't. And Saxby's indescribably good play. Got his feet under him and still able to get enough on the throw to get a fast runner.
Well, it's nice when you know you have that arm in your arsenal that you can gather your feet a little bit and then zing it over there.
High fly ball toward left on the first pitch by Adam LaRoche. Justin puts that away. 2 quick outs in the top of the second inning. I would imagine this park plays awfully big on a night like tonight, Tommy, huh?
It does. I mean, you know, it's a pretty, I'll say fair. I don't want to go so far as to say it's a pitcher's ballpark, but early in the spring it's pretty fair. It's not really till the summertime when it starts getting warmer around here that the ball starts to carry a little bit.
Fred McGriff cracked me up. He had a great line after the Braves moved over here. Somebody asked him about the new stadium, what he thought of it, and he goes, well, it's obvious they talked to Glavine and Maddox. They didn't talk to me and Blauser.
No balls, 2 strikes. .400 feet to straightaway center, 390 to right, 380 to left. And tonight with the wind blowing in, Paul Maholm can do what he wants, and he looks awfully good. A 6-pitch second inning, and he's retired the first 6 in order. The Braves bats go back to work. El Oso Blanco, Evan Gattis, leads things off for Atlanta. Field, and still no score. And Evan Gattis is going to go to work first. Six homers, 16 knocked in for Evan. Good cut, and the pitch ripped foul for strike 1.
Braves have been criticized at times for being first pitch swingers at pitches that weren't strikes, but scouting report on this guy is first pitch strikes. He likes to get ahead, and they're ready, as Evan just showed you.
Gattis last night had a couple of hits, drove home a couple of runs, took the ball to right field a time or two, Joe. That's always a good sign for Evan.
Yeah, something he was trying to do in batting practice Monday, and it's carried over through this series. Concentrating on right center field.
A little low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I still think that's something he's going to have to continue to work on, but prove that he's able to do. I think the more guys see that he's able to handle that fastball in, you know, the saying or the belief is you can't cover both sides of the plate. Well, he's clearly shown he can cover the inside. He's going to have to start showing some people he can cover that outside.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Washington was one of the first teams I noticed that really started utilizing that high fastball out of the zone. They wore Jeff Francoeur out with it, and let's see if they try that tonight with Zimmerman and his good command, to see if he can get some of the Braves hitters to chase upstairs when they're ahead in the count.
And Tommy, as we talked last night, as a pitcher, that's not always easy to do, is it?
No, it's not. It's you know, it's a lot more difficult than just, okay, well, let me throw this one high. You know, as we've talked about, you're so geared to be down with everything that changing all that and throwing one up is not easy.
Breaking ball, that is just foul past third. Rendon a diving try at third base, but it was on the wrong side of the chalk for Gaddis.
Went down and got an off-speed pitch out in front of the plate. See how far out in front of the plate he got that and hooked it. Tim Timmons right there on the call.
Evan laid off that pitch outside. And now it's 2-2.
Even with his early strikes, they're making him work. They're battling up there in these deep counts. Schaefer 8 or 9 pitches in the first for the first batter of the game.
This is pitch number 8 for Gaddis. And he'll see a 9th. Talked to the open fellas about the 1-2 hitters for the Braves, trying to set the table, set the tone. Well, maybe you made a good point, Joe. Schaefer's long at bat. It's carried over to Evan Gaddis now.
Well, I would suspect here too that he spoiled a couple of fastballs away, just kind of flipping his bat out there. I don't think they want to come in, and they're kind of running out of places to go.
Broke his bat, pops it on the infield. Zimmerman takes care of it himself.
But they did come in.
Come in and above his hands. That's a good pitch. If you're going to go in, that's where you got to go. You got to try and go above the belt, hand high. When it's below the belt, that's when he can pull his hands in and get some of the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Zimmerman, a second-round pick in 2007 by the Nationals, as he looks at Dan Uggla. Played college ball at Division III Wisconsin Stevens Point. As Dan hits that one a mile high, the wind's going to push that, however, into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's one of those guys that really improved his stock by playing summer ball and playing against probably a lot better competition in some summer leagues than he was facing in Division III, and that opened the scouts' eyes.
That caught a corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, just goes to show you that in this day and age, no matter where you play, if they're any good, somebody's going to find you.
Zimmerman, another veteran of Tommy John surgery. That happened in August of 2009. Made 7 starts in 2010, was on an innings limit in 2011, and then last year went 12-8 with a sub-3 ERA. He thought he had Uggla struck out. Instead, it's a full count.
I did too. Fox tracks. Strike, perfect pitch. He has lost a game. That was to the Mets, and he pitched a great ball game that day and got beat 2-0. And I say pitched a great game. He only went 5 innings that day, walked 1, struck out 6, but got beat 2-0. So wasn't anything wrong with that outing.
That's why, I mean, I think Murph alluded to it in the pregame, and we've talked a little bit about it up here. That's why this game could potentially become somewhat of that psychological game for Washington. You know, you can make some arguments that Strasburg hasn't been on his game, Gio hasn't been on his game, they beat up on these guys. Well, this guy has, and if the Braves can handle him too, then.
First strikeout takes care of Dan Uggla. 2 up, 2 down in the second inning. And B.J. Upton, the Braves batter. Tonight only, get a $30 club reserve seat to see the Braves take on the Mets on Friday, May 3rd. With the Braves Steal of the Week. That's $30 seats in the club level this weekend. They're normally $42 or $48. Don't miss this great offer. Visit Braves.com/steal to order. A ball to B.J. Upton.
Greg Walker's talked about BJ, about his bat being as quick as anybody in the lineup, but his issues here the first month were more about timing and being a little bit behind more than anything else.
Strikeout's a big problem for BJ, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, he has a lot of moving parts. He's got a lot of movement in his hands, and he brings that front foot back. So there's quite a bit going on there, more so than most of the Braves hitters, I'll say. So there's got to be really good timing for him to be on.
Another full count pitch. And Upton takes a called third strike. And that retires the side. Atlanta's driving up Zimmerman's pitch count, but he's given up the 1 hit after 2 scoreless innings.
Undefeated against the Nationals this season. Earlier in the year, when the Braves were in Washington and swept the Nats, well, some of the Nationals still thought they had the better team. At least one Brave took exception to that, and Andrelton Simmons has shown what he can do on the field, both in his words and his deeds.
Every game we win against them is going to make the gap bigger. So, and keep telling them we're better than you guys. That's our goal right now. I feel like, because I mean, if they don't think we're better than them now, we're going to have to keep beating them until they believe it.
You say that on the field?
I do.
Home run in the first, and he's done it with his gloves so far tonight.
I like it. What Anderson Simmons has been saying. And playing too, as Anthony Rendon goes to work for the Nationals in the third. And Mahala misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Somebody once said it ain't bragging if you can do it.
Rendon was Washington's #1 pick in the 2011 first-year player draft. Played at 4 levels last year in the national system. And hit 6 homers in 43 games. Swing and a miss. Mahalam takes care of that. 1 man down.
Well, not so surprising when he was drafted by the Braves out of high school in Lamar, Texas. The scouting director for the Braves was Roy Clark. Roy Clark now works for the Nationals, and he was the #1 pick for the Nats last year. Paul looks sharp here in the early going.
This is Kurt Suzuki, the Washington catcher. And ball 1 outside. Mahalam 3-0 in his first 3 decisions. Didn't give up a run. He's dropped his last 2. And has started a scoreless 3rd inning with a strikeout. Now a 2-1 count to Kurt Suzuki. Fly ball to right. Jordan Schaefer back a step or 2. Makes the catch. 8 in a row for Mahalam. Retired to start the game. And here's Zimmerman.
I like that number you threw out there a few minutes ago, Chip, about the Braves errors. And the Braves did lead the National League in fielding last year, fielding percentage. And the fact that they have made 14 errors, but it hasn't cost them that many excess runs, only 2 unearned runs. That's the best in baseball. So a lot of that you can really pat the pitchers on the back for covering up those mistakes and not allowing them to manifest into big innings.
Yeah, it's easy to blame all the unearned runs on the defense, but every now and then a pitcher's got to pick those guys up.
Zimmerman, ground ball, diving stop. Simmons loads up, fires high and safe. The throw pulled Freeman off the bag.
Well, he's already putting on a clinic out there. This would have just added to it. Another example of his great range. Freddie did his best to keep his foot on the bag, just too far a reach.
Zimmerman got down that line pretty good.
Yes, he did.
That's an infield hit. Here's Span and a looping fly ball on the infield. Simmons flips to second, but no chance to get Zimmerman as the Nationals get back-to-back 2-out hits. That had all kinds of spin on it, didn't it?
What was that? I mean, it barely got to the grass.
Backhand lob.
So now Lombardozzi bats with 2 on and 2 out, and a swing and a miss.
This guy played really well for them last year, filling in for a couple of guys with injuries. He's a good pinch hitter, good base runner. I think they used him in the outfield a little bit too.
Ground ball towards second. Uggla's got that. He'll make the peg to first in time. And that is that for Washington. 3 scoreless innings for Paul Maholm. His spot due second when the Braves come up in the bottom of the third. Eight, 9-1 coming up for the Braves here at Turner Field. Good crowd for Atlanta and the Nationals. Maholm and Zimmerman, the pitching matchup, living up to advanced billing. Both men look pretty sharp. Braves have forced up Zimmerman's pitch count. This is his 40th of the night already, and it's taken for a strike by Juan Francisco. When Juan starts, he hits. He's hit safely in 12 of his 16 starts this year. And leads the club, believe it or not, in infield hits. He's got 5 of them.
I did not know that.
Could have been the trivia question.
He's got a couple of speeds on his curveball. That was a slow one that Juan gave up on. He's got a pretty good slider that breaks down and in too.
Francisco down on strikes. And 3 in a row for Jordan Zimmerman.
And with Paul Maholm coming up, that will bring us to our Home Depot tools from the the dugout. Braves pitchers. Whoa, surprise, surprise. The athletes are leading the rest of the pitchers in baseball with a .220 batting average. That's helping yourself, boys. Nice going.
Ball on cue down the right field line. And the ball got away from Harper in the corner. Maholm stopped and now makes his way to second base where he stands with 1 out.
He reluctantly got a double.
As you have pointed out so many times, Tom, good athletes can change direction
Exactly.
So quickly. Hot shot down the line. He wasn't going to challenge Harper's arm until that happened. Well, watch him turn it on there.
Man, look at him kick it into second gear right there, huh? That was quick. Love it. You heard Murph call Huddy an athlete in pregame too, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Holland's nickname is Swifty.
First double for Mahalam since 2009, and after the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, he stands at second base. For Jordan Schaefer, who was called out on a bang-bang play at first base to start the offense for Atlanta tonight.
If you haven't hit a double since 2009, you might have had a hard time remembering which way to turn when you got to first also.
Exactly. So used to rounding the bag and just dropping the anchor. That, That's just smart base runners. Knowing your outfielder, he didn't want to challenge the arm.
Jordan showed bunt, took outside, ball 2 balls and a strike.
Not a bad idea.
I'm sorry, we've heard Joe say a couple of times. Just hear Bobby Cox sing, "Easy, kid."
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
Ball into the right field corner. Up and away. 3 balls and a strike.
He's got a good count here. Good hitters count. That doesn't really change the situation. Try to get a good pitch, drive him in.
High fly ball toward left. And nearing the line is Moore, makes the catch. And no advance by Mahalam. That's the second out. "50 pitches already for Zimmerman. Now Andrelton Simmons bats.
Braves did a great job last night. Just about every opportunity with runners in scoring position, somebody got a hit. If one guy didn't, the next guy did.
Bouncing ball toward Rendon at third. Backs up, makes the nice play and nice throw. So that's that for Atlanta in the third inning. Mahalam with a double for the second Atlanta hit, but still no score after 3. Where we have no score, entering the top of our 4th inning. Best seat in the house right there is Paul Mahalam's ready to face young Bryce Harper. Then Ian Desmond and Adam LaRoche. 2 infield hits allowed by Paul so far tonight. He has struck out 3. Harper hit a ground ball rocket right past Mahalam in the first inning. Andrelton Simmons made the play at the second base bag and threw him out. He starts him with a breaking ball this time. Strike one.
And a beaut.
Yeah, I like that pitch. That slow curveball, especially early in the count.
There you go. He did not. Harper for the year hitting .340 this season, but only .167 against left-handed pitching.
You remember last year, Chip, he went into a real downturn in like late July and August. He picked it back up in September, but teams were really just curving him to death. Cost him a lot of points in his average. He was having a hard time adjusting.
And it doesn't take long for that word to get around the league, does it, Tommy?
No, it doesn't. You know, that's what I say. You know, young players, typically you're going to see if they can handle the fastball away, and if they can, then you're going to see if they can handle the off-speed stuff.
Mahalam's missed outside twice in a row. Now has a full count for Bryce Harper. Ian Desmond is next. But first, the payoff pitch. That'll reach the seats. We'll do it again, 3-2. Harper played 139 games last year and scored 98 runs. On his way to the Rookie of the Year.
That's impressive.
And didn't debut until late April. As we said earlier in the series, just now celebrating his one-year anniversary as a major league player. And he coaxes a leadoff walk. Here's Desmond.
Wasn't Harper a catcher in high school when we first started hearing about him?
Yeah. Not only that, he was a real smart kid. He took his GED after 2 years of high school, graduated early, and that's how he was eligible in the draft to be drafted by Washington first overall again.
I did not know that.
Went to a junior college, though, didn't he? After that, those first 2 years?
I think so. Let me check that for you.
Was an early enrollee.
Correct. Got his GED in 2 years from Las Vegas High School. As Desmond awaits the next pitch.
And then went to the College of Southern Nevada.
That's it. One ball, no strikes. And it evens the count at 1-1. Top of the hour in Atlanta. Third game of the 4-game series. Another good pitching matchup tonight. Mahalam versus Zimmerman. Still no score.
I go to the Nevada School of Hard Knocks once a year. Right there in central Las Vegas.
High fly ball belted left center field and deep. That one's not coming back. Ian Desmond moved to the number 4 spot. Cleans up here in the 4th inning. A 2-run homer to put Washington in front.
If you're going to be the leader of a ball club and call team meetings, sometimes you get a lot better reception if you lead by example. Oh, the old hanger.
Yeah, just stayed there and didn't quite finish. That's one you want to finish down below the knees in that portion of the plate, but just stayed right there.
First RBIs this year for Desmond against a southpaw. His 4th home run gives Washington a 2-0 advantage. Nobody out now for LaRoche. And Adam looks outside at ball 1. Another hard hit ball. This one toward Upton and left. Long run and a great grab on the warning track. The wind just kept pushing that away from Justin, and he grabbed it nicely for the first out.
The ball is being pushed away from you like this, and you're on the dead run. You really don't have the opportunity on a low line drive to take a peek at the wall, so you're just hoping that when you're on the warning track, you're going to have enough room. Good play.
Swing and a miss by Tyler Moore, who struck out in the 2nd inning. Little squibber back to the hill. Mahalam's got that. 2 out. Paul's catching this Nationals lineup without Ryan Zimmerman, who's working on his rehab stint tonight. He may be back and active as early as Friday for Washington. Still, fellas, don't know the status of Jason Worth, who fouled the ball off his foot here in the opener when Eric O'Flaherty was pitching. Jason also had some hamstring problems during that game. And their offense has been really held in check the last 10 ball games. The Nationals have scored 24 runs in their last 10 games coming into tonight's action. Nats have dropped 7 of their last 10 and have struck out 84 times in that 10-game run. A strike to Rendon. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good pitch. Set up by a good changeup that I thought was a strike. The pitch before that. Stiff 4-seamer.
That's high, full count. And high again, a 2-out walk. Second of the inning for Mahalam. That'll bring up Kurt Suzuki.
Whatever happens in the rest of this game, I'm sure one of the things that Paul Mahalam will talk about with regard to the home run here in the 4th inning is it wouldn't have been so bad if I hadn't walked the guy in front of him.
Yeah, you can live with solo home runs, but and even if you give up a home run where a 2-run home run where the guy got on by a base hit, but when you walk a guy and give up a home run, you're kicking yourself.
Like the Nationals team as a whole, Kurt Suzuki's had a rough stretch over the last 10 games played. He has 5 hits in his last 34 times up there. 2 balls and a strike. After 3 very efficient innings for Mahalam, he's thrown 25 pitches here in the 4th. Fly ball to right. Jordan on the run, near the line and in. Fair territory, makes the grab, and that retires the side. Washington strikes first on a Desmond 2-run homer. Justin Upton in the heart of the Braves order comes up in the 4th, down 2-0. Justin Upton gets things started for the Braves. Freddie Freeman and Evan Gattis to follow against Jordan Zimmerman. Our game, as you know, is filled with all kinds of great stats. Obvious ones, perhaps obscure ones as well. What I like regards Justin Upton and the distance of his home runs this year. Every single one of his 12 home runs this year have gone over 400 feet.
No fence scrapers.
Nope.
Yep. Well, as a pitcher, those are the ones you want to give up. You want them to be no doubters.
One ball, 2 strikes. Everyone in baseball marvels at the power of Giancarlo Stanton of the Marlins. He had a gigantic home run in his home ballpark earlier this year. Upton has 12 homers of 450 feet or longer in the last 4 years. Giancarlo Stanton has the same number, so let's not forget about this man's power either.
Just saw where Stanton was going to be out for a month for the Marlins with a groin injury. Just what they needed.
Yeah.
Who's their all-star if he can't play? How about that? Down in Miami. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, if I was still pitching, the manager would get in uniform, he'd be an all-star.
Good point.
Yes.
old what's his name.
Mets beat the Marlins 7-6 today down in Miami. Mets making their way to Atlanta for an off day tomorrow. And a line drive into center field. Span catches up. And Upton's retired for out number 1.
A good jump on that ball.
Here's Freeman. Freddie grounded out to second base in the first inning tonight. Ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes. Might have been one of those rare changeups from Zimmerman. It was effective. And the high heat certainly was. 1-2.
Freddie was very honest today. I asked him around the cage. I said, what are you looking for from this guy tonight? What's he do to lefties? He said, you're asking the wrong guy. And I said, well, you're left-handed, right? And he goes, yes. He said, what I mean is I get in the box, I put my foot down and wait for him to throw it.
I remember asking him something similar last year, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he said he never looks pitch, location, nothing. He just goes in there and tries to react. Which, if he can do it, it's not a bad thing.
Doesn't spend a lot of time on video either.
Desmond at short. Freeman out at first. 2 outs.
Well, certainly save him from that paralysis by analysis.
That will not encumber Freddie whatsoever.
Gaddis battled Zimmerman to start the second. Got a full count pitch. High fastball jammed him, and he popped up to the pitcher.
That might have been one of the 3 or 4 changeups he throws tonight.
Yeah, he started Freddie with one, and that looked like one there.
Mile high fly ball. This one's going to stay on the infield. Desmond behind second. Puts the squeeze on that. Zimmerman has a shutdown 4th inning and leads 2-0. He bats first when we get to the 5th inning. fifth inning. An infield hit was the first of the night for Washington this evening. That came back in the third. One ball, one strike. That's fouled at the plate. One ball, two strikes.
You can understand why everybody is and was so high on this Nationals team at the start of the season, though, with their pitching staff, because Gio Gonzalez won 23 games in Strasburg with his good arm.
In the air to right, Schaefer in a few steps.
They get all the attention, but then you've got this guy who kind of has gone unnoticed, Dan Herron, and maybe another guy very unheralded, Ross Detweiler, who pitched a great game against the Braves in Washington.
Base is empty, one out for the top of the order, and Denard Span. And here's a look at tonight's Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. Holland's given up 2, and that's right around what the Braves have given up on average here at home.
It's a pretty good ERA for the Reds in their ballpark. 2.32.
Yeah, very good. Your point with Zimmerman, that's not a bad slot to be when you're behind two studs like that are taking all the attention, and you're matching up with everybody else's number 3 or number 4. It's a good spot to be.
Bouncy ball, foul past first. Denard Span, a 1-1 count.
Well, like the Pirates, who had a lot of high draft picks over the course of about 4 or 5 years, the Nationals have really taken advantage of the high picks they had too. They've gotten good players.
Ryan Zimmerman, the number 1 pick in 06. Jordan Zimmerman in 09. Strasburg in 2010. Drew Storen was also in that draft for the Nationals in 2010, 2011. Bryce Harper. So you're right. If you're bad, you're going to pick high in the draft, and you can't miss on those picks. And by and large, the Nats haven't.
No, they haven't.
All 5 of those guys are on their team. And the 2011 first-round picks playing third base for him tonight, filling in for Zimmerman.
Yeah. Can't be too many teams that are having that same conversation in the clubhouse. Hey, what round were you drafted in? First? Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, me too. I was too.
Now the 2-2 is high to Span, full count. Span has 3 hits in his last 15 at bats, has not scored a run in the last 12 games played by the Nationals. And he's going to bounce to first. That may have grazed the side of the bag. Freeman stayed with it, makes the play, and that's the second out.
If it didn't, it came awful close. Right on top of it.
Yeah, that looked like it was right on top.
So you're right, Joe. All kinds of crazy hops at first base in this series. But no trouble for Freeman as Lombardozzi swings the first pitch. That's right at Anderson Simmons. And the side is retired. 2-0 Washington. Home half of the 5th inning in Atlanta next. Braves trail the Nationals 2-0 in the fifth. The Mets are in town over the weekend, Friday the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Presented by Corona. Cheer on your Braves this weekend. Don't miss Georgia Lottery Friday night fireworks as well as the kids run the bases on Sunday. Visit Braves.com/tickets. Call 800-745-3000. That's Friday the 3rd, Saturday the 4th, and Sunday the 5th. As we get a peek at the New York Mets. Dan Uggla, B.J. Upton, and Juan Francisco are up. Steve Reich one. Swing and a drive, hammered down the left field line, but he was too quick. That may have hit the back wall of the visitors' bullpen. Uggla down on strikes.
We've been talking and singing the praises of Jordan Zimmermann since before the start of this ball game. Here's some of his ranks in the National League. Tied for first in wins, first in complete games already with 2 out of his first 5. But that whip at the bottom, that's walks and hits per inning pitched. And there aren't too many guys that are sub-1 in that category. There's not many base runners allowed by this guy.
No, if you're sub-1, you're getting it done.
And for Zimmermann tonight, only 2. Justin Upton, a first inning single. Paul Maholm, a third inning double. And B.J. Upton swings the first pitch, fouls that straight back. It's 0-1.
He made a real good pitch on BJ to strike him out his first time around. A low breaking ball. But BJ seems to be pretty locked in on his fastball.
Off speed, missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
See if he tries that one again a little lower.
Went up the ladder. Uggla strikes out twice. Upton strikes out twice. Now Juan Francisco bats with the bases empty.
Wasn't trying to do that. Target was down, but it worked.
Well, that's where velocity can help you. When you make a mistake, you can get away with it a little bit.
Rip, but straight back foul. 0-1. That's where they've gone to get Francisco this year.
They have an area down and in. They have an area up and in. They were trying to get the high fastball swing there, but it was too far off the plate.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Another thing about Zimmermann, he wastes no time. He gets the ball, gets a sign, and goes right back to work. He's in quite a rhythm tonight. And he strikes out Francisco. He strikes out the side again, this time in the 5th inning. 2-0, Washington in front.
Ball is brought to you in part by the Georgia Lottery, by the Home Depot, and by Toyota. Welcome back to Turner Field. Bryce Harper ready to go for the Nationals here in the 6th inning. Harper has grounded out, walked, and scored so far this evening. That walk was followed by Ian Desmond's 2-run homer. That's all the scoring tonight.
Just hurt himself taking that pitch. Tweak something.
Remember when Nate McLeod did that in Anaheim? Check swing and strained an oblique.
What a play at first by Freeman. Robbed of a hit. And look at Bryce Harper.
I think he's hurt.
I've never seen him not run out a ground ball, and I think you're right, Joe. 1 out.
Tom's the one that picked up on it. I think he's hurting. What a play, though.
Well, we've come accustomed to him making those plays.
That's one of those where you don't have time to get in front of it, and you are glad you don't have time to do anything but stay out of the way of it.
Exactly.
So we'll see if Harper stays in the game or if he's getting attention in the Washington dugout as Ian Desmond bats. 1 ball, no strikes. Desmond's 4th homer, and with nobody out in inning number 4. Desmond upset as he grounds out to second. 2 down.
Let's take another look at that pitch that Bryce Harper took just prior to the rocket that he hit. And it was the side.
Yeah, that would be insult to injury for the Nats if he's hurt.
Way upstairs to LaRoche.
He went down the tunnel, but he's back in their dugout under the close eye of his manager. But with Zimmerman and Worth already out of the lineup, it'd be horrible for them.
Lee Kuntz is the Washington trainer. He's going to go down and talk with Bryce Harper. But the Washington trainer already a hero today at the ballpark. I understand one of the stadium workers fell ill earlier today, and Lee Kuntz, the trainer, revived that concessionaire. I don't know if it was CPR or what, but he was credited with bringing someone back who had passed out at the ballpark today.
Wow, he is a hero, you're right.
So big tip of the cap to athletic trainer Lee Kuntz for a job very well done, and we hope that worker here at the ballpark is okay tonight. LaRoche couldn't stop himself, and he's down swinging. 3 up, 3 down for Mahalam, who's set down 7 straight. And he'll go to work in the Braves' 6th, down a pair. Now in right field. Tommy and Joe, good pickups. Bryce Harper checked his swing and injured himself and is out of the game.
Yeah, that's too bad. Love him or hate him. You know, you hate seeing guys get hurt, especially players like that.
So as soon as we get word on the exact nature of the injury, we'll pass that along to you. Nationals already without Worth, without Zimmerman, now without Harper. And in a stretch of games where they're going to be away from home a lot. 20 of their next 30 games are away from Nationals Park.
I guess because I never had muscles, I don't understand how that happens. I don't understand how. And Nate McLouth almost went to the ground when he had his check swing, as I recall. It hurt so bad. And obviously for Bryce Harper, too. It just, he got out on his front foot a little bit, tried to check his swing, and if it is an oblique, he was really hurting.
I remember TP saying one time back when he was here, and you know, he's in decent shape, but not, you know where I'm going. But I remember somebody asked him about his weight, and he said, "Hey, there's never been anybody on the DL for pulled fat." Well, you got a point.
Jordan Schaefer takes a breaking ball for a strike. Schaefer leading off for Atlanta tonight is 0-2. Braves have to solve Zimmerman. He has struck out the last 4 hitters in a row.
This in the past was where he had problems. Third time through the order, his numbers really went up in terms of batting average, runs allowed. And a lot of it, he claimed, was because I showed everybody everything I had in the first inning or the first time through the order. So they were able to make adjustments. They already had seen everything I had to offer. But he said, I've been trying to hold something back so that I don't do that early in the game.
And that's not an easy mentality to have, especially for young guys. You know, I know a lot of times, you know, even for me as a veteran pitcher, there were times where you'd pick out 1 or 2 guys that you don't want to let beat you and figure out how you want to get them out. And you wouldn't try to get them out that way the first 2 times. You'd kind of save it in reserve for if the game was on the line somewhere later on, that, okay, that's what I'm going to go to. But you almost had that mentality, well, if that's how I'm going to get them out and it's not what I'm doing now, I'm not really trying.
Fly ball down the left field line, slicing away from Moore, but he got an excellent jump. And he makes the grab for the second out. Jordan's 0 for 3 tonight. And time for our AT Uverse trivia question this evening. Adam LaRoche won a Gold Glove and Silver Slugger last year, named the last Braves non-outfielder to win both in a single season.
That might be a pitcher.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Well, Maddox was hogging all the Gold Gloves.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting Silver Sluggers.
Here Simmons tries a bunt. Rendon sniffed it out. Gloves grabs and guns him out. Good idea. Good play by Rendon. Zimmerman rolling merrily along. He's up 2-0 after 6. By the Home Depot. Here we go to the 7th inning. 2-0 Washington the lead. Paul Maholm has the bottom part of the Nationals order coming up first. And Tyler Moore squibs one out to short. Simmons takes care of that. 1 pitch, 1 out. Paul's pitched to beauty again tonight. The home run hurt certainly, but as you said, Tommy, it's the sequence ahead of the homer that really hurt.
Yeah, you never want to have that leadoff walk. It always seems to come back and bite you. But yeah, I mean the way the Braves have been swinging the bat, you'd figure, hey, if I can get into the 7th inning and give up 2 runs, I got a really good chance. You're just facing a tough customer against them tonight.
Rendon looks low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Adam LaRoche was a free agent during the winter and was holding out for a 3-year deal. Didn't get it. Signed with the Nationals for 2 years. But you can see perhaps down the road where this guy becomes the 3rd baseman and Zimmerman might become the 1st baseman after Adams gone. If Rendon proves that he can handle it up here.
You have to wonder too how badly the Nationals miss Michael Morse and his power in this lineup. Morse now in Seattle playing with the Mariners. I didn't really like the idea of Jason Worth or Bryce Harper playing center field. The only position in the outfield Morse could play was left, or he could play first base.
Yeah, I was just going to say the only problem with Michael Morse for this club was that he didn't play center field.
Right.
That's what they needed. While they didn't get a center fielder from Seattle for Morse, it created an outfield opening,
which was filled by Denard Span. That means Harper could move to left, Worth can move to right. And they were able to keep a Gold Glove first baseman in Adam LaRoche. Line to short. Rendon hit it hard, but he's the 2nd out.
Time for Georgia Power Energy tip number 5. 5 is in Freddie Freeman. Change your air filters every 1 to 3 months to help your heating and cooling system run more efficiently.
Now it's Maholm's turn to get on a roll. He's set down 9 straight. A run that began with Kurt Suzuki's fly out to right to end the 4th inning. In the bottom of the 7th, Braves will have their 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. Nothing in 2.
Paul's pitch great. Just one mistake, that hanging breaking ball to Desmond.
Didn't get the outside corner. That's the first time we've seen Paul drop down from that angle tonight.
Yeah, he kind of rushed himself too. I think he was a little upset from not getting the call on the pitch before.
Line drive by Suzuki right at Justin Upton, and that is that in the top of the 7th inning. Justin will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. He's the first man up on our Delta Airlines on-deck trio. Freddie Freeman, Evan Gaddison, more to follow.
Into the bottom of the 7th inning, and that brings us to our SunTrust shining moment. And that would be Nats pitcher Jordan Zimmermann. He's done everything we had talked about him so far tonight. He's been in the zone, used all his pitches, all locations, up, down, in and out. Really had the Braves hitters off balance, and really pitched to what we've been talking about coming in. He's been on fire. He's coming off probably his best game as a starting pitcher in baseball. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts to this point. Really been doing a good job.
May not be thought of as the ace of this staff, but certainly the de facto ace, doing what you want a #1 type guy to do.
He's not far from being declared that, or having everybody recognize that, I guess would be a better way of putting it.
He's retired 11 straight. He's got Justin Upton up first. And breaking ball is cut on and missed for strike 1. Back to the screen foul. It's 0-2.
Lowest ERA since 2011. There are some names on that list that you would certainly recognize, but I'll bet you didn't know that Jordan Zimmermann was on there 4th behind some guys that are pretty salty pitchers.
Nothing in 2. Bases clear for Upton. Washington 2, Braves nothing. And that's outside at 1-2.
That's a really good pitch to a right-handed hitter. He falls off a little more on it, but 94 just off the plate away, just enough to make you want to try to swing at it and stay alive.
No such luck. Upton down on strikes for the first time. That's 8 strikeouts for Zimmermann, and 12 straight hitters retired.
He's got a little hop on that fastball, too.
Yeah, it does. A little late life.
You don't see Justin swing through too many belt high.
Freddie's 0 for 2. Fly ball toward right. Bernardino comes galloping in, makes the play. And that's out number 2 with Evan Gattis coming up. Let's check in with Tom Hart.
Hey guys, Pete Van Wieren once talked to Jeff Bagwell about his stance, and Bagwell told him that he crouches so low so he can get the balls that are lower and rise up when balls are higher. Now, Evan Gattis talked to me about his stance today, and he said this has been a natural evolution. He was more upright as a minor leaguer and really just started crouching down low last season and towards the tail end of last season. He said he feels he can get the balls that are a little bit lower, and there may be some decreased power, but he said, you know what, I figure if I square one up, I'm going to hit it pretty far anyway.
That he will, Tom. Those are some good pictures, too, as a comparison. Definitely more upright when he was at Rome. But by spreading out, he also shortens his swing a little bit. He doesn't have a lot of front foot movement. He just kind of picks it up and puts it right back down.
That's back out of play for Gattis. And just like that, it's 0-2.
I mean, to tell you, Zimmermann is dealing right now, fellas.
Well, hopefully, coming off a couple of complete games, they'll be a little concerned with his pitch count and get him out of here.
That was the hope. We were hoping for a carryover effect. The only thing that's carried over is his dominance. From 2 complete games in the last 3. Rolling short takes care of Gattis and the Braves. 14 up, 14 down for Jordan Zimmermann. He enjoys a 2-0 lead, and he's due up first in the 8th. Lead 2-0. The fellows, at what cost for Washington?
Well, first of all, Jordan Zimmerman not pitching nearly as efficiently as he did at Cincinnati. He's only pitching a 2-hit shutout so far tonight. But he's been staked to a 2-0 lead. This happened in the 4th inning. A hanging breaking ball to Ian Desmond. He hit his 4th homer of the year. Pretty good shot to left center. That followed a walk to Bryce Harper. But then Bryce Harper on this check swing in the 6th inning in obvious pain stayed in to hit and hit a rocket that was gloved by Freeman to get the out, but he had to come out of the ball game. No word yet on the extent or the type of injury.
So both starters still in the game. Mahalam goes to work against Zimmerman in his 8th inning. A little tapper. Backspin. Gaddis grabs it and fires to first in time to get Zimmerman, who already had one infield hit tonight. His bid for a second one denied to start the 8th. One up, one down for Denard Span. On a cool, breezy night in Atlanta, we remind you that Delta Airlines is a proud sponsor of your Atlanta Braves. Back on the charter after the game Sunday afternoon. Another long trip ahead of us. We go to Cincinnati for a 3-game series starting Monday the 6th.
Paul Mahalam has been very efficient tonight. 94 pitches here in the 8th inning. But the other guy's been a little bit better. The other guy's been 1 pitch better.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, if you're Mahalam coming off that last start in Detroit, you've got to feel good about whatever adjustments you made, if any. I mean, sometimes it's just one of those ones where you had a bad game and you move on, but he's been down in the zone. He's been mixing his pitches, and like we've said, most nights this is more than enough to help get your team a win.
Fly ball toward left. Upton in a couple of steps. He's got it. 2 out.
Braves fans, your Braves 5-game packs are a great way to catch your Braves in action all season long. Select 5 games of your choice and enjoy savings of up to $4 off the gate price on each ticket. Get a 5-game plan today by going to Braves.com/5game or calling 404-577-9100. That was really hard to read because there's just chaos going on up here in the booth right now.
Chan broke his chair. I thought him have another hot dog.
He's channeling his inner Larry Munson.
And that's what I was thinking. I was going to say the same thing, and I'm trying not to laugh while it's all going on.
Hey, Chan, go ahead and yell Lindsey Scott a couple of times. Save some face over there. As Lombardozzi bats, takes low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
New chair in tow. Okay. You'll be all right.
We got to put that chair on a DL?
Yeah.
One ball, 1 strike. Again to short. Hamilton loads up and gets his man. 13 in a row retired by Mahalam. Now the bats have to support him. 2-0 Washington with Dan Uggla ready to go for the Braves. Beauty after 2 rough outings in a row for the Braves. But the problem is Jordan Zimmerman has done this to the Braves on our Subway in-game box score.
That box score is kind of blank, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just 2 Atlanta hits.
That's why we got it down so quick. There wasn't anything to look at.
And now Dan Uggla gets things started in the 8th inning. Uggla, Upton, and Francisco. That trio 0 for 6 combined with 6 strikeouts so far. Fly ball into right field, but shallow. Bernardina is there and has it. And Zimmerman has set down 15 consecutive men. 1 away in the 8th.
Only one guy to reach scoring position. That was Mahalam on the double with 1 out in the 3rd, but he was able to get Schaefer and Simmons without too much trouble. And no one has reached base since Mahalam.
Well, we're still only a bloop and a blast away.
Swing and a miss by B.J. Upton. With the explosive potential of this Braves offense, I'm sure the Nats aren't exactly dancing in their dugout quite yet, especially as the Braves have done such good work against their bullpen head-to-head this year. So 1 here at least would be real nice as you look ahead to the 9th inning.
Depending on how many pitches it takes him to get through this inning, you know that Davy Johnson would just as soon he finished the game himself.
High fly ball on pitch number 101. And it's hit a straightaway left field where the wind knocks it down for Tyler Moore. 2 up, 2 down. All year long, Braves baseball on Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day.
I will say this. The Nats, one of the things they did to try to help improve their team was sign a closer, Rafael Soriano. And I don't believe he's pitched in a game yet against Atlanta, even just to get some work.
A breaking ball taken low by Francisco. 1 ball, no strikes. Told by the truck that 112 pitches was Zimmerman's high last year. Now thrown 103 tonight, 70 of them for strikes.
Well, he is working quick and he is going right after him.
Yeah, I think the only reason they won't give him a shot is what we've talked about. You know, his last 2 games early in the year, he's already had elbow surgery. Otherwise, the way he's working has been pretty stress-free. You march him right back out there.
I know you. I know it'd be hard to drag you out of there with a 2-hit shutout working.
Downstairs, Chris Johnson waits on deck. If Francisco could reach, that would bring the potential tying run to the plate.
You have to have conversations with manager Cox over things like that at times.
Every now and then, you know, just give me a shot.
Full count.
Another perfect pitch.
Ground ball to first. LaRoche has it, and he'll win the race to the bag, and that retires the side. 17 straight retired by Zimmerman as we've completed 8. Has set down 17 straight. Paul Mahallam is taken down after retiring his final 13 hitters in the ball game. And it's Luis Avilan answering tonight's AT&T call to the bullpen.
11th game for Luis. First game of this series for him. Last pitched at Detroit.
Roger Bernardino starts things off for the Nationals. He came on after Bryce Harper injured himself on a check swing in the 6th inning. No word yet on the specific injury or its severity for Bryce Harper. Ground ball towards short. Bernardino can fly, and he's retired by an eyelash. 1 out.
Great job by Mahallam before we forget. I mean, he only gave up 3 hits.
And we wrap up the series here tomorrow night. Braves and Nationals back at it tomorrow at 6:30. Here are your Chevron upcoming starters.
And this is a very important game tonight for the Nationals because Dan Herron has not pitched well. You see his ERA. They don't want to go into tomorrow down 3-0 in this series. And that might influence the way Davey Johnson handles the 9th.
Desmond, the villain, at the plate for Washington. His 2-run homer has decided things to this point.
Rafael Soriano is loosening in their bullpen.
In the 9th for the Braves, Avilan spot due first, then Schaefer, then Simmons, then we'll see.
This is one of those nights, though, where you say, okay, Soriano, as good as he is, he can't be any better than the guy that's already been out there. Let's try somebody else.
Yeah, it's one of those rare occasions where you'd probably rather see the closer than the guy you've been facing.
Well, on a night when Washington needed someone to step up on the mound, that guy did that and a whole lot more. He was terrific.
Out of Wisconsin, Stevens Point.
One ball, 2 strikes. Off his knuckles back to the screen. It's 1-2. Mets beat the Marlins 7-6 tonight. Pirates beat Milwaukee 6-4. Cardinals over the Reds 4-2. Cubs lead San Diego early at Wrigley 4-0. Bounced over the mound. Ugla to his right. That ball stayed down and he stayed with it. Well, we've seen some funny spins in this series on ground balls, haven't we?
Avilan got a piece of that or not?
I believe he did. Good play by Dan to stay with it.
Base is empty. 2 outs now for Adam LaRoche. Two flyouts and a strikeout for the Nationals first baseman. That's tight for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. We haven't forgotten about our trivia question. Adam LaRoche won a Gold Glove and Silver Slugger last year. Named the last Braves non-outfielder to win both in a single season.
I'm going to go Terry Pendleton.
That's what I wrote down.
2 balls, no strikes. I'm with you, winner tie, fellas. That just missed. 3-0. Was a pitcher.
Right.
He snapped the string of Maddox Gold Gloves. Maddox had won 12 in a row, then Hampton won in 2003, and then Greg won 5 years in a row after that.
3-2.
Tom Glavine, 4 Silver Slugger awards, including 1996 when he hit .289.
Ground ball to second. Avalon comes back from a 3-0 count to send this game to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last call for Atlanta. Zimmerman pitched to Beauty. Now the game's in the hands of his bullpen. By Delta Airlines and by Ford. Well, guys, you hear the Chop House going to work here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and as Tommy, you said a minute ago, it's not too often you'd rather see a closer than the starting pitcher entering the 9th inning.
No, you're right, but this is certainly one of those occasions.
Braves fans remember Soriano when he was with Atlanta, had a 27-save season for them before becoming a free agent and signing with Tampa. Last year, after the injury to Mariano Rivera, he stepped in as the closer for the Yankees and had a great year. He had .226 ERA and saved 42 games. So his timing to become a free agent was impeccable, signing with Washington. But how about Ramiro Pena? How about a little 9th inning lightning here? Mo's home wrecker home run for Pena, a game winner against the Nats back on April 12th in the 10th inning into their bullpen. Maybe he'll get something started right here.
Pena, then Schaefer, then Simmons in the 9th. Strike one call. In a pinch, Pena 2 for 4 this year. Braves pinch hitters collectively 4 for 25 with a home run, and as you saw, Pena's the man that hit it. 0-2.
First at bat for Ramiro in a week. He last played in that wrap-up game in Colorado last Wednesday.
Soriano.
Sorry, Chip. Soriano Low to mid 90s of the fastball, a lot of cutters, and a slider.
There's the cutter, and it broke Pena's bat. And flipped to first in time for out number 1. 18 straight Braves have been set down by the National staff. Jordan Schaefer, bases empty, 1 out, bats next.
Guessing he got a little help on that cutter from Mariano.
Learn a little something.
Yeah. Not a bad place to go to school.
Jordan's 0 for 3. And takes a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Throw a strike, and Soriano did. 2-1 now.
Suzuki's got to have the timing for his sign down just right, because Rafael likes to lean forward, dip way low, and then it's almost like going from there into a windup. My guess, we'll take one here.
Swinging away and fouled it to the left side. Full count.
Remember, he did this to Zimmerman in the first inning, leading off the game for the Braves. Had an 8 or 9 pitch at bat after the count went deep, went full. 9 pitch at bat and fouled off a bunch of them.
Struck him out over the outside corner. Quite a pitch by Soriano. 2 outs.
Yeah, looked like a good one.
Yeah, that's the one you practice time and time again in the bullpen, right on that outside corner or black. Looked like it was going to stay out there, but came back and caught just enough.
Andrelton Simmons will try to keep the game alive for Justin Upton, who's in the on-deck circle. Away, 1 ball, no strikes. Way inside, ball 2.
Nothing the Braves would like better than to have Justin have a crack at tying this thing up.
He's missed with 3 in a row. Coming up after our game, it's Braves Live presented by AT&T. You see the post-game menu. Hopefully we'll have a big 9th inning comeback win to tell you about. Braves need 2 to tie And they're down to their last out. 3 balls, no strikes to Andrelton Simmons.
Interesting. Soriano didn't do the big knee or bend at the waist and all that. He just got his sign and threw it. Now he's back to that.
Breaking ball fills up the count.
Well, the Nats walked out there not wanting to see Justin again till tomorrow, and the Braves were wanting to do everything they could to give him a shot. So we'll come down to this pitch right here.
Good idea by Andrelton. Make him start over.
Braves down to their last strike. And Simmons drives that ball down the right field line. Well hit, but foul. As Hawk Harrelson would say, right size, wrong shape. And that home run distance, but it curled foul at the pole. Do it again, 3-2.
Don't know if that was a strike or not, but Andrelton didn't have the luxury of waiting to see. And he's asking if it might have been up. And it was up. But at this stage of the ball game, you can't afford to take a chance there.
That's generally a very tough pitch to lay off anyway, particularly in that situation.
Bouncing ball to Desmond at short. He handles, fires to first in time, and the Washington Nationals are on the board against the Braves in 2013. A 2-0 shutout authored by Jordan Zimmerman and Rafael Soriano. Great pitching on both sides, but their guy just a little bit better in Game 3 of the series. And we're back to Turner Field to recap it for you in just a moment.